Hi friends, welcome back to Texas Family Life. My name is Kristy. I'm a mama of 7 with baby number 8 on the way. And today I thought it'd be really fun to talk about a few things that I do as a mom that I never thought I would do, and a few things that I don't do that I thought that maybe I would do. I thought it'd be fun to share with y'all, and I know that there are so many mamas on here following along. So go ahead and drop below something you never thought you would do as a mom that you do, and you're just like shocked with yourself. So I'm just gonna jump right in and share the first thing that I am like so shocked that I do as a mom that I never thought I would do is not care when I have stains on my clothes, like spit up, baby boogers, whatever it is. Like if I'm in an outfit and I get a little bit of spit up on me, I kind of wipe it off and I move on, because if I changed every time I got spit up on, peed on, boogers on me, clothes wiped on me, like I wouldn't have any clothes to wear. So I never thought, because I was the type of person that I would get like the littlest stain on my clothes and be humiliated. I was just mortified, and I'd be like, I remember telling my husband, like, can you check to make sure I don't like have anything on my back? And I would sit there during like anything, like a concert or anything like that, worrying what might be on my back. Like, do I have a hair on my back? Like, do I just have a stray hair on my back? Because if I do, like, I am going to die of humiliation. So I have completely transformed. I can't tell you how many times, especially recently, I've been peed on by a baby, and like I go out after church after being peed on, and I'm just kind of like, hey guys, to my friends, because most often they're not going to notice, and also they all have kids too, so everyone understands. No one's gonna be like, that's really gross. And if they're like that, then they probably haven't been around many children that are young, at least. So that's my number one. Another thing I didn't think I would be able to do is function on so little sleep. As a mom of many, I am up during the night a lot, and I was telling my husband just the other day that it's funny because I got this watch and it tells me how much I sleep. I was telling y'all that. I notice when I have 4 to 5 hours of sleep, I'm in a really good mood that day. When I get 6.5 or 7 hours of sleep, I feel extra tired. So it's almost like my body knew what it was going to be like to get a long stretch of sleep, and it's like got interrupted. Where the 4 one is like, oh, you got to take an extra long nap, good for you. But I function so well on it. Now come like 10:30, if I'm still awake, I'm out. Like, you cannot keep me awake unless I'm eating. If I'm eating, I can stay awake, but yeah, totally out. Another thing that I never thought I would do as a parent is bribe my children. Now, I don't mean this in like a horrible way, but it's like, hey, help me clean up, or help them do a job that they're not usually used to doing, and I'll give you a gummy bear. And or even like I have rewarded them with high fives and handshakes. Kind of like it's hilarious, because I'm like, all right, you want a high five or a handshake? And they're, a high five. I'm like, you got it. But sometimes you have to talk your kids into like doing things, and that's just being a parent. Like, I mean, you could be like hardcore, like your kids know you do what you say when you say it. There is no conversation about it. But unfortunately, we don't run our house that way. Sometimes it takes a little bit of bribery, and that's okay. And it's just mostly with chores. It's almost never with anything else. I can ask them to do anything else, but if it's like, hey, can you do something, this or that, they're like, ugh. So bribing isn't an often thing, but I do it sometimes. Another thing that I never thought I'd do is wipe a kid's nose without a Kleenex, or or with my own skirt. Okay, guys, don't unsubscribe. Don't leave me. I used to see people's kids with boogery noses and think it was the most disgusting thing. And I'm like, why is this parent not doing anything? That's so gross, that poor kid. But if you've ever had a kid with a runny nose, you know that you can wipe it, turn around, 1 minute later, it looks like you haven't wiped it all day. So I have been known, like, somewhere, if I'm out and I don't have anything, I gotta get that nose wiped. And I will wipe with a skirt. I will wipe with my bare hands, and, you move on. So you do some really, really gross things. And that kind of goes in hand with the next thing that I never thought I would do as a parent. Be excited about poop. Okay, guys, when you're potty training a kid and they poop on the potty, it is the most exciting thing. Like, for you as a parent, because you're like, I'm so close to never changing a poopy diaper for you ever again. This is great. And also, like, with the twins' ages, when they start getting constipated, and sorry guys, this is an awful video, but when their tummies are hurting and they're crying a lot, and I'm like, please just poop, like, you'll feel better, come on, just do it. And like finally they poop, and you're like, Thank you God. Because it's like such a relief. But I never dreamt in a million years I'd be excited for a poop of any kind for anybody. Kids are different. Another thing that I never thought I'd do, and this has happened as I've had more children. I wouldn't call it a temper tantrum, but like if my kids are arguing with each other, I don't jump in the middle all the time. I do not. A lot of times I will sit there and I will pretend like I don't hear it. And then they come to me and I'm like, you guys have to figure it out yourself. I never really thought I'd be that way. I thought it would be like, okay, you did this, go this way, you did this, go that way, like that's it. But I've gotten to the point where a lot of times I'm like, figured out what happened, who took from who, you know, you need to figure out who. I'm really bad at that. So don't judge me too hard. But it just, you just gotta figure it out sometimes. I never thought I would do that. Another thing I never thought I would do is get rid of some of my kids' toys. Guys, they end up with a lot of stuff. And so oftentimes the more things they have, the more they fight, and they are relentless and it gets bad. So it's like, okay, we're taking your toys away. And we have personally noticed like the fewer toys they have, if they have like a special toy that's just theirs and no one else is allowed to play with it, they get along so much better. It's when they have this mound of toys that it's like constant fighting, and I don't understand it. But we have realized like, okay, we're gonna pull some stuff out and we're gonna like either give it away or stick it away in a box, but you don't get to play with that anymore. And so the fewer things they have, the more they get along. We have the magnet blocks, like the tiles, just like a small box of it. And anytime we get that out, there's so many of them, and the kids fight. They fight, like, that was my block. I'm like, there's a pile of blocks over there. So that's one that they don't play with very often because they just fight more. But yeah, like getting rid of kids' toys or not letting them play with all their toys at once, never thought I would do that. Because I grew up with a whole basement full of toys that we never touched. So I never knew that becoming a mom would make me less of a people pleaser. I used to care what people meant, what people thought so much. Like it was bad. And I still care a lot, but it has gone from like here to here. Like I don't really care if you see me wipe my kid's nose with my hand. I don't really care, you know, like if you don't like my rules for my kids. It's gonna be, I never thought like that I would choose so hardcore, like my little family. I call us a little family because it's my little family. I know there's a lot of us. I never thought I would choose my little family and be so like dead set on it and not try to please people through it, because I've realized that like I am my children's protector. If I don't speak up for them, nobody else will. If I don't like stand up for this family, no one else other than my husband will. So I've got to do that, and I cannot be a people pleaser and do that. Now I do still love pleasing people. I still love like bringing meals to people who have had babies or need, you know, a meal. Like I still do it for my parents right now. My mom is going through a hard time right now with her surgery and stuff. I'm sitting on a bucket, but like I'm not gonna bend over backwards for you if, you know, it's not really called for. You know, we've talked about how we limit dyes in our family, and someone was like, oh, we got this for your kids. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have dyes. They do make this kind of dye-free, whatever it is. And they were like, well, I don't buy those kind of things. And I was like, well, then we don't eat chores. And that was like that. Like, I back in the day, give it like 7 years ago, I would have been like, oh, okay. And, you know, gone home and been like, oh, I should have said no. But like, I stand up for myself and I stand up for my kids. So a little pat on my back. And I hope motherhood has done the same to you, because you do have to have a backbone sometimes. You can still be nice, but it's okay to not be a people pleaser all the time. I also never thought I would give my children sugar so young. With my first two, my husband grew up in a big family of where like they drink a lot of soda, where I didn't drink as much soda in my family. So I was like adamant on like, they don't need soda before they're one. There's no reason for it, like anything like that. And then my husband like sneaked them like little bits of soda, and I'm like, don't do that. Like we're waiting. And so I remember with like my second child, we went to the Dr. Pepper factory over near Waco, and she wasn't quite a year yet. And my husband and I gave her some Dr. Pepper, and I still remember that day being like special because we're the Dr. Pepper factory, but I don't want her having this. So you better believe that with like the twins, like they're eating what everybody else is eating. If they can chew it, they're eating it. You know, we're still a pretty healthy family. We don't eat a lot of junk, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's just things that change, priorities change. Something that has not changed much but is starting to change and is kind of cringy for me is character themed things. I've never in my life enjoyed character themed things. Like, I never had anything that said like character names on it. I never wore clothing with character themes on it. My mom had a vintage Mickey Mouse shirt. It was vintage because it was hers when she was a teenager, that I used to wear, and I thought that was super cool just because it was like vintage Mickey Mouse. I'm always like, go against the tide. I'm that person that's like, oh, you like that? I don't like that. You know, like when everybody else likes it, I want to be different. So we don't do character themes. I don't like character shirts. I don't things like that. But now there's Owen, and he's really liking Batman. And he's requested a Batman themed birthday, and we've never done really a character themed birthday. We've done Winnie the Pooh. And like, my kids don't know who anybody really is. They kind of know who Bluey is. They don't know who like the pajama monkey. Who are the pajama jams? The pajama jams. They don't know like all the mainstream stuff, and that's okay. So I really never thought I'd get into characters. I still hope kind of that I don't, because it does make me feel icky. I don't know why. And if you do it, that's fine. I am good for you. It's much easier to be able to be like, hey, I want a Peppa Pig. Let's go get one. Or whatever. But for me, like, it's not something I like to do. And I think that's been hard because we know some people that love characters. You know who you are. And I'm so sorry to like break your heart. But it's just harder for us to like, we just don't, it's not who we are. So anyways, looks like we're getting into Batman. He's liked some of the Marvel figures. Like, my sister gave him a shirt with all the superheroes on it, and he didn't have any idea who they were, but he thought they were the coolest thing. He calls Flash the Flash Man, which makes sense. There's Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and then Flash is just the Flash. No, he should be Flash Man. So getting into character themes with the boys might be a thing. But that's cool. That's like super, where a lot of the princesses, it's hard because they're not dressed properly. I don't know. Superman, Batman's wearing tights and underwear. Help. So I don't know. It's just a bunch of things. And the last thing that I didn't think I would do as mom is share straws with kids. I've always, my entire life, been like, that's disgusting. You know there's backwash. Like, you give them a straw and a bottle that's clear and drink after your kids. I dare you. I do. I share with my kids, and it's still something that like I thought so hard it wasn't something I was going to do, that like when I do it in public, I'm thinking, man, people got to think I'm gross. But we do, and like we'll be out and I'm the one with the water and all the kids are thirsty, so they're like, can I have the water? And they do all have their own individual cups, but you try carrying around like 5 cups and your own cup and baby bottles. You know, I'd rather just share my cup with them. I don't have a clear cup, so I don't have to see what I'm drinking. But those are some of the things that just have changed as a parent. Like, my expectations have changed, and there's so many more. I could come up with so many more, but I want to hear from y'all, and I want to know in the comments below, like, what is something you never thought you would do that you do as a parent, or something that you thought you would do that you've never done. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It is so fun being a mom, and it is just something that you don't know what you're going to do till you're there. And I guess that's so many places in life. Like, you think, oh, I'm going to do things this way, and you just don't. So motherhood is one of those things that you have to kind of roll with the punches and figure it out as you go, and this is where we are. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. It is a great way to support me and my channel without any cost to you. So can't wait to see y'all again soon. I hope you have a blessed rest of your week, and I'll see y'all again. Bye.